As the newly created sun stabilizes, the sunlight is released and energy moves in the way of rays and light and fills the spherical vacuum thresholds inside the space structure field of the universe's own electromagnetic field because of gradient pressures known as electrogravitic differentials. So the same process that we induce to create a universe happens organically within that universe at a smaller scale, given the heat differentials in its own space structure as the released energy from the sun moves across space towards its electromagnetic field. So then vortices are generated and a galaxy is formed. And then the center of the galaxy has a singularity of its own in the way of a central galactic sun that releases energy inside the galaxy's space structure, and solar systems are formed as a result. This process continues to infinity as a universe is spherical and contains an infinite number of galaxies within it, and a galaxy contains an infinite number of celestial objects within it. As you can see, this video explains how a universe is created and what happens as a result of the universe creation. I explain how with our planet we generate an energy bubble, and with that energy bubble we fill a space vacuum threshold, right? A spherical vacuum threshold in the vastness of space. And when we do that, then we release energy into that bubble. And when we do that, then this process happens with this energy generates vortices. And these vortices essentially release that energy into the epicenter. And that creates that sun. And when the sphere stabilizes, meaning the bubble, which is the electromagnetic field of that universe, essentially stabilizes because the energy creates that central sun, that singularity, and the energy starts to release and the sphere of energy is stable, then that energy moves into its own space structure within its electromagnetic field. That's space vacuum structure field of infinity, in this case of the size of a universe. And as it does, because of the gradient pressure, the heat differentials, temperature changes, new vacuums start to fill. And these vacuums are all spherical. And then the same energy as we created the universe, that process happens organically inside that universe, and it starts to generate new bubbles, new spheres of energy, and they become galaxies within that universe. And because the sphere is infinite in nature, there is an infinite number of galaxies contained within that electromagnetic field of that space structure, which is the universe itself. And the energy is self-sustainable. It's a pulse that moves to and from, expands and it contracts, and it returns to the source, and it goes back and is released again through the singularity, which is the central sun. And that is replicated at all scales of energy density. At the universal scale is the singularity, the central sun of creation, and then that energy fills pressure gradients and it creates galaxies as a result, and those galaxies have their own epicenter, their own center, their own core, which is their own singularity with their galactical sun, this galactic central sun, at the epicenter in the middle of this sphere of energy, which is a galaxy. And then that releases the energy within it as it stabilizes, and then it creates solar systems, and suns are born, what we call stars. And these are born. And when they're born, then those stars release that energy at that density, and then planets are formed and celestial objects. And because the sphere is infinite and a universe is infinite, there is an infinite number of these objects within them. And each of them is a nodal point in the electromagnetic field of that universe. And they're all connected to the source, which is the central sun, the singularity of the universe, the one that we create with our planet. And as a result of that, the energy pulses back to the source, and it's then released again, and it goes to infinity in this infinite pulse of creation. And this is essentially what space is, what the universe is. But what happens to be is that there is an infinite number of universes. And we as a species happen to create those universes with our spaceship planet called planet Earth. And this is what we do. And this is what we've always done as a species. This is our nature. And this is just the way things are. And this video explains this process at all its scales. From the largest scales, which is infinity, down to a universe, then down to a galaxy, then down to a solar system, and then down to the objects within that solar system, which tend to be planets. And then into the smaller scale of things, which is the biological life forms and the organic life forms and inorganic states of energy, elements, minerals. They all have a spherical electromagnetic field, just like a universe or infinity or a galaxy or a solar system or a sun. And they all have this pattern of spherical energy, spheres within spheres of creation, and it goes like that to infinity. And this is creation. This is what reality is. Reality is these states of energy at all these scales, and they all spherical in nature. Infinite spherical energy that keeps on creating itself within its own space structure, and it applies to infinity at the smaller scales and at the largest of scales. And we are the species, the human race. This is who we are as humanity. We are the species that have mastered this energy. We are the same energy. We're one with it. We're the biological creators. So because we control this energy and we're one with it, we ourselves create with that energy at the same scale that a central sun of an infinity or a universe would, because we ourselves create those, because we harness that energy from the fabric of infinity, these filaments, the space vacuum structure field of reality itself, with our technologies. With the core of our planet, we harness this energy and we generate it and release it and store it as required, so we can create the conditions to create a universe. And then once we do that, the universe, once it's stable with the singularity, as described by this page of the book, then it naturally releases that energy without us having to take any further part on it. We just create it. We create a universe, and then the universe grows to infinity with the energy that we release into it. And this is a natural process, and this is the way we've done it for an infinite number of cycles, because we are the creators at the biological scale. This is who we are. This is the species that we are. We're sons. We're the sons of suns. This is who we are as a species. You see, we are the Republic of Planet Earth. We're the citizenry of the Republic of Planet Earth. And this video is the one that concludes volume 1 of Sansons. Humanity, I love you all with all my heart and might. I'm Jam, Jose Alonso Molina.